you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
All right, so I'm gonna have to blow this up a little bit because it's definitely hard to see here, especially without my glasses. But these are the standings after day 2 of how we're doing it. So a lot of these names, I'm not quite sure everybody, but we'll figure that out. Got some interesting picks in there. I know y'all see that Kentucky, down at 17, they go out bad.
That's so.
Yeah.
And not that. It's to be expected. But Julian, I mean, just a I'm sorry will do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we're literally one game apart.
What is that supposed to mean?
And you have Purdue. Okay, let's go ahead and unbox this. Like,
just say it. Like,
we're
it's just
one game. Listen. You're one game above me. Okay, mind you, there were some flukes. That like could have went the opposite way. There were a few flukes. I don't even have my phone right now, so I can't recall all of them. But like, there were some games that swung that were kind of BS. Who'd you have? Colorado and Florida.
Florida.
Okay, me too. Who'd you have?
That was BS. I couldn't agree more.
What about yesterday? Who was the other close games? I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my
but
brain.
that's the thing. I'm definitely gonna have this up because there are a lot of games.
Yeah, too many games. Yeah,
and a lot of nonsense. Let me see here. So
the close games. I'm trying to think who I lost.
did have St. Mary's.
I got St. Mary's right. I knew they were pretenders, and I did about bro from Grand Canyon who he had like all of those health conditions. Like 2 times earlier in his career, he had I think he passed out on the court 2 times. And he's finally getting back to hooping this year. And he's been going crazy. So that's why I thought that was a good story and bet on it.
Definitely was a good player. I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name. I did have TCU. They went out bad.
I picked that. I got Utah State. It was one of my upsets. It was one of my other upsets. I think it was like a 12-5 that had a good shot and they lost.
Did you have UAB versus San Diego?
No.
Well, anywho, Mono's ball.
Anyway, but let's go ahead and break down your champion though. You have Purdue winning. I'm gonna beat you just off that. Just off the strength that you have Purdue in your championship.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if they even hit the Final Four or the 8. I think they're probably gonna get bounced out Sweet 16. Bro. All right.
It's all in the clip.
Please click that.
And we can go ahead and get into it though, Drew, because there's always a method to the madness. While we're here, I'd love to hear, Julian, how did you make your picks? Did you go by any sort of formula? What did you look at when you made your bracket?
I can't get into my exact formula.
You definitely can. The picks are a lot. I
don't know if it's appropriate,
it's over,
but there's a few things that I take that are intangible into account. I'll go ahead and pull up roster construction, if you know what I mean. So I'll pull up pictures of the rosters. And if I see something that, they look athletic, they look good, I'll usually go that way. I'll tend to lean.
How does one look athletic?
You know what I mean? But I like with my St. Mary's pick versus Grand Canyon, I knew who was going to win that one. And I did go against myself a few times. What's it called? Like when I picked Wisconsin, that's who it was. I picked Wisconsin to win versus James Madison. Usually I'll fade Wisconsin and Nebraska every tournament. They're not going past the second round. Not anymore. They used to, when we were young, probably around 10 or 11, they had some good teams like Sam Hauser, those guys, they had some good players. Now they're not going past the second round because these mid-major schools have dogs, as we saw. Like I was looking at the Wisconsin game last night. They just couldn't, like, they were worse players. They were less aggressive. Like it was just terrible. Like they got beat by a team who was better than them. And like, yeah, that's usually how I go off my picks. And then like obviously one thing I look at is like I like to bet on players in the tournament. So like I do know a little bit about college basketball. So like some of the like better players, I'll usually always bet on them to take their teams there. I definitely did that a few times with my Duquesne pick. I based it on that, but yeah.
You did have Wisconsin winning that game?
I had Wisconsin winning, yeah.
Okay. So I just want to get into this.
Usually.
I just want to get into this because it seems like we picked the exact opposite way, actually. You know what my favorite league is, right? National Basketball Association. All right. So there's a man who revolutionized the game that's in the league currently today. Any guesses of who I'm talking about?
I'm talking about Curry?
I'm talking about Steph Curry. And what Steph Curry has been known for is shooting the three ball. Now, if you can shoot the three ball, you should not be out of any game. But that's where I got caught up. Because when we do start talking about roster construction, when we do start talking about athletes versus average Joes, some of these Joes can shoot. So they threw me off. I believed that they were going to come out shooting lights out. And that's not exactly what happened. Okay, so when we talk about the St. Mary's, when we talk about the BYUs, when we talk about the who did you just say? The Wisconsins, they threw me for a loop.
Nebraska.
Those are the team. I didn't have Nebraska now. I didn't go that far. You know, Tominaga. I couldn't do all of that. But
they say
those are the teams that threw me.
Curry.
Something like that. Something like that. The Shogun. You know what I'm saying? But Miles, do you have any methods to choosing your bracket?
I just look back at matchups because it's hard to keep up with all these teams throughout the season. So like I do try and just look back at previous matchups and like strength of conference. I mean, something like James Madison, because I'm pretty sure last year they won their conference and had a win or two. So it was and they've been kind of on a heater. So like that for me was kind of an easier pick because I wasn't really putting much trust into Wisconsin and them. I actually have James Madison beating Duke as well in the next round. So we'll see how that one goes.
That's probably gonna happen based on what I saw last night.
Yeah,
like Duke's not good. I'll just go ahead and put that one out there. Duke is not a good team. So James Madison just looked like the aggressor in their game. Like, those dudes were completely shook. And it surprised me because, like, this is actually why I picked that specific game. Like, I picked a lot of upsets in this tournament. That specific game, I was like, Wisconsin's going to win because that dude, number one, I thought Storr, the 6'7" wing on Wisconsin, he's good. Like, he can play. He looked shell-shocked last night. I mean, he couldn't dribble. He couldn't pass. He couldn't shoot. It was ridiculous. And then they have Wall, number 5. He infuriated me. And like I've been watching him for years, and he's a big reason why I usually pick against Wisconsin. Because he is ass. I'll go ahead and put that one out there. He is ass. Like last night they tried to like keep passing him the ball and like reposting him. He couldn't finish a layup to save his life. He has no left hand. Like it was just like it was a ridiculous thing to watch for me. But like James Madison, they look really good, and I'll be surprised if they lose to Duke, honestly.
A couple things. You
got to look at like how they're trending. Like especially like I feel like their conference tournaments are a big.
They are, but that's why I picked Wisconsin because they played Purdue. In their conference tournament and they beat them.
Yeah, true that.
Shout out to Morgan's pick. But
that's my pick too. I'm still rocking with Purdue.
Shout out to both of y'all then. Y'all are going to be sad. Zach Edey, like he's a good player and all. He's not taking you there. I'm telling you, he's not going to take you there. Like I've seen it for, 4 or 5 years now. It's not going to happen. Like,
see, but again, Miles and I are probably looking at the same thing. All right. When we talk about matchups, Edie is a matchup nightmare for anybody that he plays going forward. We know that. So,
He is.
what are they going to do? Play physical, double team, what have you? You have 40% shooters from range all
Doesn't
around.
matter when things
It
get
does.
tight. When guys get tight, that goes down 10%, bro. Like they're that's
For
going
sure.
down 10%.
For sure.
Who do they
for
who do
sure.
they have? Is it tomorrow? Who do they have?
Have next?
Utah State.
Yeah, Utah State.
That could already get smoked out. And then in the next round, it's projected who's on their side of the bracket, like Tennessee,
Gonzaga.
Tennessee and Gonzaga. Is it on that?
Gonzaga, Kansas.
Oh, that's it.
That
Yeah.
would be the Sweet 16.
The Sweet 16, okay, but they are on Tennessee's and Kentucky's side, correct? I know Kentucky's out, but
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not-
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so that would be
They
NC State. That would be NC State and the Tennessee side. Okay, interesting. But even bro, if they play Kansas, they have to face Dickey.
If they
bro,
play
that's true.
Kansas, what?
That's true.
Zach Edey has to face Dickey. That's not a matchup nightmare. Not at all. Actually,
Not.
I would argue Dickey's better than Zach Edey. I'm going to go ahead
First
and
of
put that
all-
one out there.
First of all, Kansas is gonna go. All right, they're gonna go
They may-
quietly.
They may because what's it called?
They have a big
they
injury.
lost their best player, yeah. But Kansas is still like Kansas can still hoop. Like they have the best player on the court most games.
Monos ball.
These are facts.
All right. I'm just saying if you get it Kansas and you have to face Hunter Dickinson is 7-1. That Zach Edey stuff, I don't know.
Oh, you're not.
I don't know.
Okay.
I've seen him play. You know, I've been a
You
Dickey
have to
fan
ride
for,
with this
for
Michigan
years in
man.
a row. Yeah, I've been watching Dixon play for. Damn, he's got to be a 5th year, 6th year senior at this point or something.
Something like that.
I feel like we were in high school when I was watching him play at Michigan, but that's not going to be sweet. So you better hope you don't get that matchup. If you do, you're on thin ice.